So let's talk about store assignments. Now, store assignments will allow employees to create transactions at different store locations. So take this example. Let's say that you have a employee here who works at two different stores, store 1 and store 2. Maybe those two stores are in the same city. And during busy times, maybe this particular employee is sent to store 2 and work for the duration of that day, and then she's back at store 1. So you want to make sure that she is able to log in at both locations. So you want to make sure that she is assigned to both stores 1 and store 2. Okay, and that will ensure that her account, her user account, is sent from store 1 to store 2. So when she walks or drives over to store 2, she can log in and be able to use the system. That's basically it. That's store assignments. Now, quick overview here. By default, a new user is assigned to all stores. So let me write this down. By default, employees are assigned to all stores. So if you want to make sure that the employee will be able to log on at all store locations, don't do anything at all. Don't do anything at all. But if you want to make sure that they can only access certain stores, then you can specify or modify the store assignments. So you can modify the store assignments to limit access to select stores. Now, be very clear. Just because you assign employees to specific stores does not give that employee the permission to change the document store code. Let me write this down. Does not give the employee permission to change the document store code information, which is a very important field because based on that store code, Retail Pro knows which inventory, which store you want to update. So you don't want users accessing that store code. That should be automatically suggested by the system. Now, if the employee already has the permission to change the document store code, they will only be able to access those stores to which they are assigned. So let me write this down. So if the employee has permission to change the document store code, they will only be able to access the assigned stores. So let's say that you want this user to be able to create documents for both store 1 and store 2. So they could be sitting at store 1 and creating a document for store 2. But you don't want them to be able to create documents for store 3, 4, 5, 6, only 1 and 2. You can give this user the permission to change the document store code, right? And then only assign them to stores 1 and 2, and they will only be able to change the store code to store 1 and store 2. Is that sort of clear? So store assignments will allow a user to basically create transactions at those stores. It does not give them permission to change the document store code. But if they already have that permission to change the document store code, then they will be limited to the stores in which they are assigned. Okay? That is store assignments. That is store assignments.